What's up, everybody? I'm back home in Wisconsin for the 9-day gun deer season. We've been hunting opening weekend, knocked a couple bucks down, but I just want to take a quick second to let you guys know about the Black Friday through Cyber Monday deal that we got going on. Everything in the store is going to be 20% off through that time period, so if you're interested in THP merchandise, we got hats, shirts, a bunch of different stuff on the store. I'll leave a link down below. Go check that stuff out. Like I said, 20% off through Monday, so we appreciate everybody's support, anybody that's bought anything already. But with that, let's get to today's video.
On?
Yep. Backstrap. Kansas backstrap. You can just shot your sticker in the back window.
Seatbelt lights on.
Most accidents happen within a couple miles of your destination.
You stressed?
No, my eyes are just, I don't know, that one's still acting weird. Kind of swollen.
You're going blind from that raw deer hurt.
Apparently that can happen. That's a real thing. No, I think I got poked in the eye with something. Grant and I just got done helping Greg get his deer out. What time is that? The right time?
Yeah, I just changed it this morning.
2:16. So we got like 3 hours left. Plenty of time. Wind's still really high, so I think what we're gonna do is just go back into this spot. So I think we'll get up in a tree and just see if we can get eyes on them. Sit up in the tree for maybe an hour or so. If we don't see anything, we'll maybe move, get up in a different tree and just keep bouncing throughout the night. Maybe make 3 or 4 different setups, or if we see something, obviously we'll go after it. We got the perfect wind. We'll be walking in with the wind straight in our face, so as soon as we see something, hopefully we can just walk straight at it. So, sound good to you?
Yeah.
Get the product shot, dude.
Yep.
See how many water bottles we can sell. Mine's not very clean.
That was pretty weak.
1,000 milliliter Hunting Public Edition Nalgene bottle.
Do a product review.
Well, it handles water really nice, pretty durable, clear. So I know you can see what color the liquid is that you're drinking. You can also see how dirty your bottle is.
Right.
How much hell it's been through. Yeah.
Clear with black lid that holds liquids of
BPA free.
Oh yeah, that's
Made in the USA.
That's actually a pretty big selling point, I think.
No, it is. Get one if you are thirsty. Look at this guy. Wow. Hashtag stance. Hashtag rough country. Dude, I only run Lucas oil on my truck. Getting awful close, dude. Wish we had more backstrap.
Let's just go get some.
Yeah, it's true.
It's free out there. You just got to go work for it.
All right, let's go. You ever pull your binos up and they're not sighted in?
Yeah.
Are these your tracks or someone else's? Yours? saw at least. Grant and I are basically to the point where we're going to start hunting now. Got a wind that's blowing this way. This whole edge, I guess the hope is that there's either going to be bucks cruising up and down it, or one that has a doe, has her pushed up against this cornfield where not a lot of deer are going to get downwind of it. Just kind of got her locked up here where he doesn't get pestered a bunch and she doesn't get pestered by other bucks. So we're just going to keep working this edge slow. Probably got to go a little slower apparently because we just picked some does up. Zach and Grant were in here a week ago, Brad. I was hunting further back in, but when they came in here, that's exactly what they saw is the buck, several bucks I guess. One buck had a doe pinned up against this cornfield and there was a bunch of satellite bucks around it. So if you're moving slow, you got a better chance of just seeing one stand up just because they stand up all the time throughout the day. Even if he's just going to bed back down, the slower you're moving, the better chance you have at seeing that, I think. And hopefully they don't realize you're a human, maybe. They definitely did though. But just going to keep walking, I think, until we get to a point where we can see a decent amount or just find like something that seems like it's worth setting up on, but just keep moving slow. I think all those deer might be up front. A lot of big tracks up there. And he just walked through all this without checking anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. Should we head up there once?
I suppose.
Or just stay here, you think? Right here, hey, nice buck right here. Don't move. Mark. Mark. You smoked. I didn't see him go down, but I feel really good about it.
Yeah. He's already crashed.
Huh?
He's already taken once you
Was he?
Right there.
Dude, I'll get down by you. Get over here.
Just like that.
I was literally just like, do you think we should go up by the road? There's way more sun. Like I literally just said, should we leave? And then I turned, looked around.
I go, well, I suppose.
You're pretty reluctant. I was just like, are you sure?
My plan was to sit here till 4:30 initially, but you know how that always goes. It gets to like 4:10 and you're just like, let's get out of here. 3:55 right now.
But he told me don't move, and I'm like, where is this thing?
It's right here.
And just keep moving, and he was right there.
I just grunted like a couple different times, but
Yeah.
probably a couple minutes ago I was grunting at that smaller buck.
Yeah.
And he kind of acted like he might have heard it.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, we'll never know, obviously. He just came out and he was sniffing around.
Heck yeah, dude.
Nice buck.
Yeah, we just went and got Greg's and
And I-
dude, out of the freaking tree.
I know, I was just sitting up there. Just crawled up it, monkey crawled up there and was sitting on the branch. I wouldn't do it if it was any higher than that, but that was only like 6 feet up, 7 feet up.
I was sitting down here just thinking, like, how crazy would it be?
I shot a lot of them like that when I was younger, but man, that's cool. I'm just pumped, like 3 like real good shots this year, and I don't have any other bow tags now. I might get one in Wisconsin, but like, just happy to make it. I mean, maybe not. I guess I want to watch it again, but like I feel really good about it.
It'll take you drilling.
I thought we might see him fall. I thought we might see him fall, but I didn't. But I feel really good. Let's go look at that arrow. Looks really good. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna find the arrow, but I'm just trying to feel it with my bare feet. Works in the yard.
Feel that single bill?
No, that thing's buried, dude. Alright, well, we're gonna continue to look for the arrow, but we got blood right away. We'll watch the footage back. I'd just like to see it, to see what it looks like, but I'm pretty sure I have a good idea of what it's gonna look like. But there's this narrow strip of bedding that runs a long ways, basically back to the other corner of this cornfield. And it seemed like both those bucks we just saw were cruising right through it, trying to check for does. And there's an intersection of trails right here. One goes out to the corn, and one goes right by the tree stand. And I just wanted to crawl up in that tree for a little bit, because we can see this whole bottom, or I could at least. And with all this wind, I guess the hope was to see a buck cruising, or maybe a buck stand up that had a doe being up there, and we could just jump down, start moving that direction, but they came right to us. I was thinking there's a couple big pin oaks along there. I'm like, early season we should be set up in these, you know, like deer move into the corn or beans, whatever it is, and all those pin oaks up there. But it's pretty sweet. We gotta keep trying to look for this arrow. But all right, we looked for the arrow and couldn't find it, but might just come back through here when it gets dark out, because I got a light and knock on there. Maybe we'll be able to see the light. But we're going to start tracking while we got daylight. Well, it's easier. I got a pretty good gauge on where I last saw him. He kind of ran up into here and started looping back that way, and hopefully he didn't make it too far. There's quite a bit of blood, so hopefully it keeps up that way. It's pretty easy to follow. Don't let me get going too fast here, because I have a tendency to do that when I track my own deer. Some there. Got some here too. Spraying out pretty good there. Have you noticed any bubbles in any of it? Yeah. It's really spraying. Looks pretty good to me still. Alright, so we watched the footage back. We just followed Bud for probably 75, 80 yards, and it was good until it wasn't. I guess this is the best way to describe it. And I knew this when I shot. His leg that was closer to me was back a little bit, but I was right up against it. And we're looking at the footage. It might be a little lower than what I thought, but it's still, I feel like it's high enough, but we're going to take it back, show the guys. Greg pretty much always knows exactly what to do and where the shot exactly hit. So we're going to get some other opinions. Basically, we followed Blood. And he was just walking up this real beat down trail here, and we just had one last speck, and now nothing. But it looked like he had stopped in there and started walking, which I wouldn't have expected, I guess, from what I saw on the little viewfinder, but I was wanting to just walk up to him and find him.
That's not quite the happy face I was hoping for.
Me either. It might be the same situation as last year. It's higher, long liver.
I'm guessing there's an interesting story behind this in the 2 hours that you had between.
Yeah, it was quite the day. Basically just got, Aaron and Zach have sat there before, I know, close to it at least. But we got to where we could see a good part, like we could see that Oak Island that you sat on before. We basically could see 400 yards. We're way on the north end of that piece, right up against the cornfield. I just crawled up a tree. It had like a horizontal branch, like 6-7 feet up, so I just crawled up the tree and was sitting on it. Cause I could go out. I mean, you could see everything, anything that stood up out there, you'd probably be able to see it. And we cut a bunch of big tracks on the way in, like right up by the access. So I was like, we had sat there for, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes, probably 30, 45 minutes. A little buck came out and like he walked right up towards that access. Like that's where there was some more deer, you know, like he had his nose to the ground, or I thought maybe he was like following scent up closer to the access. So I'm like, do you think we should just get down and go back up there, circle around? He's like, I don't know, maybe. Or I think I said, I suppose. So, yeah, like pretty reluctant.
Really decisive.
Yeah. And like I looked out and the thing is just like 30 yards away, walking straight at us. I'm like, oh, back right here. And then you'll be able to see the rest. But I mean, he was rolling actually for all that. Like, yeah, the whole conversation.
Yeah, I see the time in between me saying I suppose and him saying that stuff. It's pretty funny.
But let's put on the screen, see what you think. I'm to the right, but still.
Yeah.
The stupid thing is like I could have been more forward and I should have been more forward.
Does it deflect down off of his elbow?
Could have.
That's not bad there.
I didn't think so either. Like the initial reaction from both of us was just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Done.
like we were almost started just celebrating.
Then like when I was started to get worried as he stopped up in there, we couldn't see him. But like we tracked him because I wanted to go while we had light and a bunch of wind. Like I knew we weren't going to bump him, you know.
Right.
So we went, what did you say, 80 yards?
Yeah.
And he basically stopped in a big pool of blood.
Really?
Like I was
Foam
thinking,
in it?
no, that was what like it's darker red, you know, like it came out liver or something. And he stopped, and like I was hoping like he just stumbled around, like we were gonna look and see him, and like then he just started walking, you could tell, and blood started to get thinner.
Yeah.
So like we just, I don't know, we basically covered the trails slowly, looking around, like 40, basically every trail, I would say that he could have went down for 40 yards, just like hoping to maybe see him, you know. Because like it was pretty windy out there. I wasn't really worried about spooking him. I was wanting to get a follow-up shot if I needed one while we had light. And, like didn't find any more blood. Just like shut off. You know, like it was really, really good until he stopped. And then when he started walking, it started to get less and less. But it definitely could have. Like there's only basically 2 frames with the arrow before it gets to him. So I think it could have already just went through and be on the back side of him. You know what I mean? I mean, it's higher than the one last year. I know that.
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
Just his angle, like his, right leg,
I knew that
front
when I
leg
shot.
is forward.
I knew that when I shot, and I just should have put it more forward. That was a mistake.
Yeah, like you could have just put it through the shoulder blades and it'd have been
Yeah, we would
better
watch him
off.
fall.
Yeah.
Or he would have died where he stopped, you know,
Right.
instead of
So I don't know exactly what to do. I mean, we got all this rain coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing I'm thinking is, like, it's gonna be so easy to walk through this and find him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Blood looks to have shut off. I mean, we could be missing something.
Yeah.
But like, my thing is, we go out there, try to find him tonight, potentially bump him, and then like if it rains tomorrow, especially like he goes,
then we got a problem.
several hundred yards probably if we bump him tonight.
Yeah.
Like, and if that's the case, I don't think that we bumped him when we were tracking him. I don't think he's going to be far from where we have last blood. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I would, at this point, I would say it's best just to wait.
It's just, you get used to watching him fall. You know, it's just like,
Yeah.
I just changed, people.
I'm sorry.
He's ready to go.
Should have been there for Greg's shot today, then I guess.
Don't even start with me there. I am not very happy that he shot. I mean, I'm happy that he shot one this morning, but like, I don't cry very often, and I almost cried because I couldn't go with today.
This one will be more interesting because Greg watched his fall. If you got time to go tomorrow,
I'm going tomorrow.
I'll need you maybe. That's, the thing is, it's like, it's going to be easy to find him in there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like stupid that, like, I wanted him to just be there. I mean, that's obviously always what you want, but that's like what we were expecting, our initial reaction, you know, and then we watched it again. It's like, oh. Yeah, that's why it feels stupid, I guess. It's because we were both just like, oh, that looked good, you know.
Yeah.
Again.
Those slightly quartering two shots, especially when that the opposite front leg is forward, it's so easy to want to shoot him behind the shoulder.
Yeah. And the stupid thing is the whole reason I changed my setup is so like I didn't worry about that.
Right.
And I still just
It's habit.
Habit.
Yeah.
It's totally habit.
We'll get him.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
I know, it's all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Like not watching him fall.
Yeah. I'm definitely not worried about getting him. It's just like, if he's out there alive right now, that's stupid of me. You know? I mean, he could be dead, but I don't know that he is. And like, I really don't like that at all.
Yeah.
It's like, he'll be dead by the morning, but it's like, I've always hated that saying. It's like, we'll get him in the morning, you know? It's like, he's out there right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe alive. Don't like that. This is probably one of the more expensive things you own, huh?
Mm-hmm. Kayak, that, and my car.
Kayak, backpack, and car.
Priorities.
Alright, so we're back at the location where we went in from yesterday. Got the whole group here today, but just to give a recap on what kind of happened last night after the shot. We weren't filming much just because we were in a pinch for time, just trying to hopefully maybe get a follow-up shot on that buck, but basically just our reaction, as you can see after the shot, was wrong. Like, we shouldn't have been as happy as what we were. We both thought it was like he was smoked and he was probably dead already, but I don't know that he was. And the hope was to get a follow-up shot and basically followed blood, kind of keeping our eyes up in front of us. We really felt like we would see the deer before it saw us. And didn't end up finding him last night, and eventually it seemed like he stopped for a while. There was a bunch of blood, and then he started walking again, which that was what really had me concerned, that he didn't just fall right where he stopped. We lost blood and basically just took every trail for 30-40 yards trying to see blood down it. Couldn't find anything else. And I think what it ended up being was one lung liver. And I guess the conclusion we came to last night, we knew it was going to rain. It rained last night quite a bit. But unless we were missing something when we were trying to find blood last night, we think it kind of closed up or got clogged up with something. He's not bleeding anyway. This area is super easy to grid search, and I guess that's our idea, is just we let him sit last night. There's nothing we can do about it anyway, I guess. It's cold enough, and now we got numbers, and I feel like we all agree that he's dead now. I think we're going to find him probably within, I'll be worried if he's not within 200 yards of where last blood was. I'm hoping he's within 100, but let's go see if we can find him. He's up on that branch there, and I just looked up and he was like 30 yards away. And I thought he was maybe going to come right down that trail like 10 yards, but kind of was just nose to the ground, and he ended up coming down this thing I shot at him right here. and he ran up through that stuff. And last blood is by like those pin oaks you can see out there. And he's kind of traveling that direction, it seems like. And I think there's like a band of cover here that he's probably going to be in. I'm hoping he's going to be in. Like I don't think that he would have left that if typically they bed down. It seems like within about 200 yards on a hit like that, wouldn't you say, Greg?
250
Yeah.
is what I was thinking on the way here.
Yep.
So it would make sense for him to be either in this strip of cover or that line along there where you've sat before, Greg.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where we'll find him. Yeah. So basically we're following him up this trail, and that's when it started getting thinner, was when he started walking from where he stopped back there further. Kind of fanning out. I don't know. Do you guys have a preference on how we do it? Should we just like grid search it straight or just start working a circle him?
Well, I think we should just make one swath right through here, just in the direction that he was going, because your cover gets limited out there.
I agree.
And out there, like I think we cover this band pretty good.
And this is like it's pretty much a straight line basically to this point on where he's been going. So I think if we spread out, we can probably cover
I think he'll be
60,
here.
70 yards at a time together, just zigzagging and making sure we're basically covering, doubling what we cover. Like we basically walk over each other's paths, I think, just in case. Because you could walk by him and miss him in here, but if we do it right, I don't think you could.
No. I think we'll find him in this band.
Yeah.
I don't really like this. There's so many places, like deer laying flat. It's going to be impossible to see unless you walk right up on it, even in that short stuff. Grant, why don't you stay right here? We're going to go through it. You just hold on this edge. Just zigzag through this opening between these bigger trees and the smaller ones, and we'll just bounce off you. He's laying like he was hiding. Right when you were like, "Did you find him?" I said, "Yeah," and I came around and his eye was wide open, and that's when I was like, "Whoops!" I messed up.
Like I was surprised to see him right here the way he got up. Like he was moving.
Exploded
good.
out of there. Yeah.
Okay. I watched him lay down. I could just see the tips of his antlers out there, luckily. But I ran to this ditch because I knew I could see down the edge of the corn if he was running down that. I didn't see him when I popped out there running. So I got up here and I just started glassing. I was looking further out, and then all of a sudden I saw his tines. Luckily.
We did our best effort to do what we did.
I really expected him to be dead today if we were going to find him.
I expected him to be dead within an hour or two, most.
I was shocked when that thing came up out of there.
Yeah. Those low and back shots, man, are the worst.
This is that first hit.
That's exit on the first hit.
Sorry, guy. Here, let's flip him over and just see where it went in, just so we can talk about where I should have aimed, I guess. And I should have probably been right here. Won't you guys agree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you had hit him right there, you'd have double lunged him for sure.
I should have been somewhere in here, I feel like. Aaron sent us like an hour-long video yesterday. It's basically about deer anatomy. We'll link to it down below so you guys can click on it. But I seriously think like anybody that deer hunts, or like it should be required in hunter safety to watch that video. The guy basically dissects a deer, and he like inflates the lungs and the whole chest cavity, so you know exactly how everything lays in there when the deer's alive. If you don't have an hour, make an hour to watch that video.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't watch 4 of our videos and watch that instead. Like definitely watch it.
Well, we learned something today. And I think the most positive things from it are, we put all our effort into finding him, and we did find him, and we finished it faster
as fast as we possibly could. We got here at first light. I really expected him to be dead. Like
I feel like that's literally the last thing you ever want. That's the most important thing probably to talk about is the way we grid searched it. Basically, we had a general direction on the way the deer traveled, and with a big group like this, like I was confident that me and everybody else in the group, like we were communicating a lot, trying to stay basically in a staggered line. So basically we covered this whole thick edge that we were hoping that he was in. He wasn't in there. So basically what we did was we turned around, and the person that walked furthest on the edge, we just basically pivoted around them, and that person set that edge again, and basically we all stayed within sight of each other that way. Like, I think we were all in agreement that if he was out there in the stuff that we covered, we did basically 4 different swaths. I think we were all in agreement that we didn't miss him. He wasn't out there, and that's really important to me, at least. It's just like, there's no second guessing yourself. Like, that's what I wanted to make sure we did the first time we went through here. It's just like, he can't be in here, you know? That way you're moving on to the next thing. We were really efficient, I feel like.
OnX tracker is huge too.
Yeah, that tracker is really important, I think. Yeah, not a
storybook ending.
Yeah, not the greatest feeling. I would say good job, man, on keeping at him. That's the best thing that like you did, is just stay on him. And you know, I think in any situation where you jump deer, get eyes on him as soon as possible. It's always going to help, especially when there's low blood. But one negative side is that he is about as far away from the vehicle that you could possibly be on this whole piece of public land. So that's cool. That's what we come out here to do. We came to work.
He was 490 yards from the tree that we shot him at, straight line. So he probably walked at least 600, I'd say.
Yeah.
We felt good about it. That's the
when you hit one right there, you do feel good about it.
But that's the stupidest part about it to me, is like we're high-fiving and like he's out there, you know. It's just like you gotta always, unless you watch him fall, you just gotta always like be cautious.
Lessons learned. Had a good old week of hunting here in Iowa. Really have, like, just been on a lot of bucks, and we always enjoy this time of the year. I mean, we've hammered home plenty in podcasts and videos and stuff this time of the year that we really like. You know, lockdown gets a lot of bad rep, and in the whitetail bow hunting world, I guess.
And I think the biggest issue with that is like people are hunting the same spots. This time
same
of year,
way.
Yeah.
We also are looking for like different things. You know, we've been talking amongst ourselves a lot about looking for a lockdown buck. They're going to be in different places, and what we've been looking for is areas where a deer can get a doe, a buck can get a doe away from all the other deer. And the mature bucks are really good at doing that. I mean, we're seeing it over and over again. Big old bucks getting does away.
It's in off-the-wall spots where you wouldn't think of.
The other strategy that holds true this time of the year is big bucks on cruising routes. I mean, I think everybody gets super excited about November 1st, and they feel like that's when the flip is switched. And is that right? The switch is flipped. It's kind of like it peaks, and it peaks right here. Well, I've heard a lot biologists talking about November 14th as being like that peak. So on either side of that peak, you're getting
bell-shaped curve.
Yeah, you're getting a bunch of bucks early on one doe, and it can seem like that's the most intense rutting action, but the most intense rutting action is happening in the middle of the month. And the reason that we like to hunt then is because we've obviously found a lot of ways to target areas where we think bucks are going to lock down does, or be cruising trying to find the next hot doe. I think people see our style of hunting, some at least, based off of some feedback we've gotten. They think that we're just out here blumbering around, and we're not doing that. We're looking for deer, we're looking for sign. And sometimes to find deer, you have to bump into them, especially if you're traveling or you're hunting a new area. Be mobile, get out there, find where that hot sign is. I mean, we talk about it all year, but I think just being mobile and, you know, thinking kind of off the wall this time of the year is really key. Well, always be my favorite time of the year. It's stalking season, baby. Get out there, get mobile, and have a blast, baby. It's awesome.
Still some good hunting left.
Let's get this thing out.
Yeah.
I'm cold, dude.
We're gonna quarter them up.
I didn't know there was a whole tribe of you out here. Fine looking buck, Jacob.
Yeah.
Should have put my hair up before I started doing this. Getting all up in my teeth.
How's it going here?
Wow.
I figured I should take my own backpack in case I got lost and needed snacks.
Really? How lost do you think you're going to be?
Well,
Yeah, it is one of the deepest, darkest holes out here.
Well, I'm just glad we didn't have to grid anymore. I hate that. I absolutely hate gridding. Nothing that I dislike more.
Really?
I hate it.
Really?
I didn't have any camo pants when I was in
Are you gonna give me my pants back?
If you want them.
Dude, they're about to the point where I don't feel bad about giving them back to you. They were really nice at one point. It just kind of all happened at once. I had to use them for toilet paper that one day, and they just started falling apart after that.
I don't really know what the function of the pants is anymore.
Pockets. Really the only thing.
Just pockets.
I got these waterproof frog togs on underneath them so I don't get wet.
That's the Zangerly frog tog.
Yeah, that's Ted's dad taught him that.
I like it.
yeah, I'd like one of those too. Sleeves.
Okay, hit the road. There's too much wind out here.
Thank you, Thank you
Too much
everybody.
wind. Hopefully we spot another buck better with the doe. It's gonna be really fun if we do. It's windy.
This is us reaching out to Chevy, specifically the Impala. Sponsor us. These cars are built for the deer hunter.
You know you have water
Yeah, I
in your
know.
tail light?
Don't get that in the sponsor shot though.
See it in the right rear.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
That's
see
how
it
I
sloshing.
noticed it.
The blinker fluid, that's what it is. I put too much blinker fluid in it. Ready?
Yeah.
Cool, let's go get something to eat.
Dustin and Frank.
Dusty Frank. From Michigan.
So that got put there when we were
When we were tracking.
really.
Nice
wanna
fellow,
read
it
it.
sounds like. Keep it.
I
Yeah,
do
we're gonna
these
keep it for
things.
sure. It's cool. I like it. Double day.
Look how awkward he is.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's athleticism at its finest. Get some more of that. Athlete.
I look fast, don't I?
Especially when your toes pointing out. Feet's not bending much.
I'm 25 now, dude. You'll understand someday.